Hey guys, Cam here. What we're going to do today is a quick video, hopefully quick, not too long-winded, on how I bring in GPX files that I've downloaded and what I do to join them together and create new bits to have a consistent track that I want to follow. I'm going to be downloading from scratch here Garmin Basecamp. That's what I use. So I'll go into the install, and what I do, show the base level maps that come with it, and show that really they're not worth a shit really on they're not very useful for what we would want to use them for. So then I'm going to install Map Center from Garmin, which is like the base level fundamental database, I guess, of maps that the Garmin products then use. And once we've got that installed, we can then download and install some other topo maps to Basecamp, to MapSource, and then those maps will be available in Garmin Basecamp, and then we'll go through that. I'll show you the website that I found that's got a bunch of cool tracks and stuff you can download, but it's all disjointed. There's tracks all over the place. So what we'll do is we'll digitize a few other tracks, then we'll join them together and make sure they're all going in the direction we want. We'll review that and then export it, and then we'll go and put it on the bike, and I'll show you how to do that. But just before I start though, just a sort of disclaimer, this is probably not the best way to do it. It's the way I do it. There's multiple ways here to get data or get maps and stuff. I tend to try and find the free way. It's all legit, it's etc. But there's so many different options where you can pay for maybe more richer data sets and stuff and maps. But I'll show you the way that I do it at this point in time. Probably going to refine my methods over time, but normally I just wing it when I ride. But since I'm not in New Zealand now and I'm not familiar with where I'm going, I like to do a bit of a pre-plan to make sure I understand where I'm going and what the map looks like, etc. So there seemed to be a bit of interest on how I do it, and for those guys that have got the TrailTaker on their beta, etc., and haven't really tackled getting the maps on there. So hopefully this helps. Please leave some comments and that if you like the video, or other tips and tricks to help us all out. And yeah, we'll get into it.
So we'll go through, and firstly I'll just open up Google and just search for, I did it before, Garmin Basecamp software, and then just go into garmin.com there, the link, and what we'll do is we'll just go down and find the download. So I'm using Windows, so download now. Just walk through this, pretty straightforward. I normally use another computer, but since I'm doing a video, I will show the install from scratch, I guess, for you guys. So you go through and agree to your terms and stuff. Hit install. Then it asks me on another screen here, do I want to allow this app to make changes? I'm going to go yes. Sorry, jump to another screen, and just watch this through here. What we're going to have to do next is we don't want to use the default Garmin maps, so we can use a Garmin MapSource to actually download and install some better maps for us to use. So I'll just let that launch, and I'll show you what I mean when it starts up. So it's come over onto my other screen as well. So let me just pull it over. So over here, this is Garmin Basecamp. It's got this really basic map at the moment, and it's just what they call the global map. So what we'll do is it's really unusable with regard to if you're wanting to set out and make tracks and a whole bunch of stuff the way it is. So I live near Denver, and if I zoom in through in here, like this is Netherlands, and there's a bunch of rides and stuff close, winter parks over here. But there's no detail here, so if you're wanting to manually digitize and create your own GPX files, you can't do it with this. You could go the main highways and stuff, but that's not what we're after. We want to go off-road and have adventures, so it's really unusable at the moment at this stage. So next we will go through and install some new maps. So we'll go and do that now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through and we're going to look for Garmin MapSource. This is the database, I believe, that is the back end for Garmin. And I understand that you need to have this installed in order to add other maps to that database to then have them selectable as maps in other Garmin software, such as Garmin Basecamp, which is the tool that we just installed. So as you can see here that I've this first link is part of Garmin, so that's good. I'll trust that. And in here, MapSource software at the moment it's 6.16.3. We're going to download that, and then we're going to open it. Do I want to allow this to make changes? Yep, I do. It's going to extract, and then it's going to start the installation. So hit next, accept the terms, and then let it do its thing. Let's accept that, and then yeah, launch it. That's fine. I'm not actually going to use it as such. It just needs to be there in the background. Here it is under here. So this here lets you see all the maps that you've got. So yeah, what we'll do now is we're going to download some better topographical maps and stuff for us to use for our adventure planning. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so there's so many different options here to get different topo maps and routable maps for your GPS devices. One here that I'm just showing for this demo is the Gmap tool. You can see in the address here, so you can then type that in. But there's a bunch of different maps and stuff here, and for what I'm interested in is just the mountain area. You can see they've broken it out. Now you can install as many as you want really on your computer. The MapSource will let you select from them all. So I'm just going to select USA Mountain because I want to make sure it's got Colorado in it. And then you can see, I believe it tells you, no it doesn't. I thought it would tell you what states and stuff, but you can see from the map anyway. Oh, here it is. Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, Nevada. So yeah, I guess the mecca of writing. So for me, that's all I need on this computer at least. And then it's just a matter of clicking on this file, this link down here, and then it's going to start downloading all those topo maps. Now it's 1.5 gig, so we'll just let that chip away and download, and I'll come back later.
Okay guys, so we've downloaded the topo maps, and I've used WinZip to unzip the file that was the 1.3 gig file, and I've unzipped it to a folder which I've called Colorado Topo Map, and there you can see that I've got an install US Mountain and an uninstall And what we're going to do is we're going to just basically, it's pretty simple. You just double click the batch file there, and it should install the maps. But just before we do, I'm just going to go into MapSource again, and just to show the before again. So at the moment, there's just really the one set of maps in there. It's the base level ones that come with MapSource, and there's no option to select other ones because I don't have any other ones in there. So you can see here, there's nothing here. Normally over here there'll be a drop down. So I'll close that, and then now, hopefully, when I double click on that and then hit any key, it should go through there and run an installer to then install the Topo maps. Okay, so we've double clicked on that install batch file. So now if we close this and go into MapSource, we'll be able to see the results. So now you can see that we've got the drop down list of the available maps. And we've got this new option here of US Topo OSM, US Mountain OSM Topo. If you installed other variants into MapSource, you'd have different selections here. So if we select that, you can see here that we've got different maps and stuff. So that's all good. We don't need that now, but just quickly I'll just zoom in to around Netherlands and stuff. Yeah, so there's a bunch of maps and stuff, bunch of more detail than the global map. So if I just switch over, so it's going to hold your location, so you can go global map. So for the same location, you can see that that's all we had before. If we change it over, you'll see there's a lot more detail. So that's good. So we can close that now, and then we can open up MapSource. Basecamp. Let's do that again. Basecamp, and in Basecamp, you will see that under Maps, there's the US Topo map as well. So those maps that we installed into MapSource are available in Basecamp, and this is the one that we can now use to digitize new GPX files, to create tracks and stuff, and we can import GPX files that we've downloaded from other locations in here, and then what we'll do is we'll show you how to join them together, etc., to create one continuous some map to then import into your bike. So yeah, so that's good. So I will now show you how to basically arrange some of that and download some GPX files that you could use. So what we're going to do is in Basecamp, we're going to show you how to create your own GPX files. But there might be cases where they already exist and you just want to download them. And then you can import those into Basecamp and then check them out where they are in relation to the topo maps and see where you need to add to, etc. But so there's so many different places that you can get GPX files. I just put in a search here on Google, dirt bike GPX files, and there's stuff all over the place where to find them. So really it's your preference where you can get them. But I did want to show you, I did come across, which I thought was a pretty cool little site called TrailTaker. And it's got maps for Colorado. And I didn't find it at all with trying to search for GPX files, but I did hear on a video that I was watching about someone referencing it, and so I checked it out, and it works great. I've been using it. Now you can't download any files unless you're logged in, but that's very easy. You can register by just putting your email address in and sorting out a password. So it's very easy. It's free, and you've got the option of searching for trails or viewing on a map, and
we'll just do a quick example. And then in from Castle Rock, I believe is Rampant Range. I've never actually been down there, so you Colorado natives or people that know a lot more than me, you can tell me when I'm wrong, but I do know there's a lot of trails there, and I think it's Rampant Range. What you do notice with this website, it does take a while sometimes to refresh. You can see that little circle thing going on there. So it's just trying to catch up, I guess. So let's just wait. But yeah, here you can see some of the trails coming through. And the good thing about this this website is that you can easily search and go to a location of where you want to go riding and just really see if there's any maps for trails that exist. And if there are, you can just click on them and then go to details. And it's going to give you a little bit of information. Sometimes there's photos and stuff or videos linked or associated with them. And it can tell you sort of really the level of how hard it might be. So this one here is classified as an intermediate motorcycle track. And it also states that UTVs or four-wheel drive aren't allowed on this track, but you can run an ATV or you can actually run a motorbike there. And they're not sure about mountain bikes or hikers. Yeah, and then once you're in there and you want it, you can just hit download. But here it's going to probably error out on me because I'm not signed in, so it won't let you. I'll just go to another one and show you an example. So it's going to open up a tab every time you click on one, but let's pick one of these red guys. Go trail details, and you can see that this is an advanced track, and there's no videos or anything, but I think I have seen one with some photos before. So yeah, basically what you can do is that you can log in and then you can download them. So I will just, for example, hit click download and it says, hey, see, you can see it. You must log in. Okay, fine. So I will go and log in and I'll just pause this and start it again once I've logged in. Okay, so I've logged in now. Basically, just navigate to the map you want, click on it, and just go download GPX file, and you can see it downloads it. Then let's say I want to do another one. I want that. Download, boom, and you just go through and just keep clicking the ones that you want to download, and it's as easy as that. So yeah. But for this exercise that I'm going to do with you guys, where I'm going to bring into Basecamp, I actually have been looking at a ride in Winter Park, where I've noticed on my paper topo map, the one, if you've watched my last video, the one I dropped on the trail and then had to go back and get. But anyway, I did notice on that map, there was some trails in the back of Winter Park where if you went down from Fraser, so you come down through here, oh, sorry, it's a bit crazy on my zooming. My mouse is a bit funny. Let me just catch up. There was some loops around here where you could run a motorbike from the looks of it from the paper map. And I want to basically create a route or a track that I can run on the beta. I've never been up here before, so I wouldn't know where I'm going, so I really need to have some maps. Okay, so as I mentioned before, there's a ride that I want to do, I'm going to try and do inside a Winter Park. So I've brought up my TrailTaker website here, and you can see there's a bunch of tracks in here around Winter Park. Now, if I switch over to Basecamp, when I compare my paper map to Basecamp, so Basecamp's got my good topo map now, so you can see Winter Park. Then I've got Fraser up here. Then in my paper map, it looks like from the map that I can actually ride around this loop here on a motorbike. So I want to see how many maps I can get in this area that I can leverage instead of having to make my own maps. So basically what we'll do is we'll go back to TrailTaker, and then we'll just go and download a bunch of these maps, and so I've got them. So what we'll do is I'm logged in, we'll just go click download GPX file, download GPX file, download GPX, and just go through and download all these maps. And we might not use them all. Is that got that one? They're all disjointed, so just go and I'm not sure if I got that one or not. Do it again, doesn't matter. It's a big one. Okay, that should be enough. I know this one is bike only, push bike only. So basically, if I go to my downloads folder, you'll see that these are all the GPX files that I've downloaded. So I've downloaded one twice, so you can see it's renamed it, so I delete that. But other than that, they're all individual files. So what we'll do now is I'll just pull that to the other side of the screen. We don't really need TrailTaker anymore. I'm just going to minimize it. But now in Basecamp, I believe I'm just going to go create a new list, and I'm going to go just Winter Park ride. And then I'll come over here. I think I can just basically I'll select them all and just do that. Just copy them over onto your list. And then in here, you can see that I've just put in some GPX files and they're overlaid inside of Basecamp. And if you can click on them, you can that one's coming a bit funny, but you can see how you click on it and highlights. That red arrow is the direction of the track. Don't really worry about that because we can join things together and then adjust the direction later. So if you click on something and it's not showing, like this Elk Creek 2, it is showing, but it's it's only 2 points by the looks, but you can right click on any of them and go show a map, and it will reposition your map around that. So what I want to do is I'm going to zoom out and zoom in again around where I want to go. So from the paper map, I want to ride around this loop here. Now there's no maps for that, so we'll create a GPX file that represents that. But there's maps that exist here that I can leverage to get to that point. So, for example, when I plan this ride, I can say, yep, I'm going to come in from Fraser, and I'm going to go down this road here, and then I'm going to loop onto this track, and then I'm going to loop onto this piece. I'm going to stop there, and I can come in to here. And then what we'll do is we'll create a new route that goes around there. So yeah, so what we'll do now is we will go and digitize and create a new GPX file that actually represents the ride that I want to do. Okay, guys, so in order to create GPX file or a map of where you're wanting to go up into Tools and go click on that and go Track, and then you'll see that the cursor's changed to a pencil, and basically it allows you to draw and create the track that you want. Now, it's easy if you use a mouse with a wheel in the middle, because then you can use that to change the zoom. And yeah, so basically we're going to go and start close to the end of this line here, because we want to join those later. And then you just basically go through and you can do it as granular as you want. So you can just go straight through if you want. Yeah, so the more points you get in, the more detail you got. I'm not sure how good the representation of this dash line is anyway on the topo map, but hopefully it's good enough to give me the idea of when I'm there in person, that I know what I'm doing, where I'm going. So yeah, so it looks like it comes back on itself, but so I'm just gonna go this way, and yeah, you just carry on through. So what I'll do in the video is I will fast forward, so you don't have to go through the pain of all these, but I'll stop talking now and we'll fast forward it. So I'm coming to the end now, and I'm just going to stop it beforehand and finish that there. And then what I'll do is when I'm actually there, I'll just jump back on the other track that's already there, the one that's already part of it, and then just follow it home out of there. So do that, and then hit the escape button, and then that will stop that. And then just go back up with your mouse and click the hand, which is the pan, and that has created that. And then over here you can see the new one that I've created, and it's just called track. So right click on that and rename it, and I think this is called the elk loop, so I'm gonna just give it a name. So yeah, so we've just created a file. Now what we're going to do now is look at joining these suckers up, so I've got a consistent track to follow. Now you don't have to do this, but I like just to have the one line that I'm following and not have all sorts of stuff all over the place to clutter up my screen. But it's really up to you if you want to, what you want to do. So what I want to do now is, so I know that I want elk loop as a part of my ride, and then I want to have this guy. So I'm going to rename that just to say next to elk, because when I'm in there later, I know that this track's next to that, and then I want to do this. Now for this piece, I don't need this whole track. I only really need to go, if I zoom in, from this point through to this point. So what you can do is double click on that track, and then it's going to bring up this box. And then what you can do is you can go through and select points along it. Now, if I zoom out, you can see that this circle, the orange circle, reflects the points that I want. So I want to see what's around there. So it's quite a big map, big track, this one. So getting closer. You can zoom in there now. Yeah, so yeah, I can basically only want from 168.168 through to zoom out over there. So zoom in up here. To 227 would do. So I only want points 168 to 227. So I can close that, and what I'll do is I'll just go, I'll duplicate that, and I'm going to rename the duplicate to go ALK2. So there's a theme here where I'm just trying to call this new ride the ALK loop, or the ALK ride. So I click on that, I'll double click on it again, and then from before we worked out we only needed from 168 to 227. So I'm going to select one, I'm going to go down to 167, and then I'm going to shift click. So I've selected all of those points, and then just with my keyboard, I'm just going to hit delete. Boom. And I could do a bit of math now, but since it's going to rename those other points, renumber these other points, but I'm just going to come back and just quickly look where I want it to go. So zoom in here. Yep, so there, so it's 60. So we don't want 61 onwards. So I'll just go through there and go shift click delete. And then just close it. It automatically saves it. So now if I go show a map for that, you can see that this new map, or trail, I guess, or track. Sorry guys, I'm calling everything every name under the sun. It's a track. So this new track is made from that longer one, but it's only the short one. And what I intend to do is join these up, and I'll stop it here for the video, because we don't need to go and do my whole ride. But what I want to show you now is that I want a one GPX file that includes this piece, and includes this new bit that I just created around here. So what you want to do is you can just click all three either down here on the bottom left. So let's do it again. So you click on the first one, hold the shift key on your keyboard, and then just click the next two. And you can see I've highlighted all three of those tracks. And then what you want to do is you want to just right click on it, and in here you want to join the selected tracks. So just click join the selected tracks, and you'll notice that there's some crazy red lines going through, and that's because of the order of the tracks. But so what we need to do is that you can click on these, and you can change the order of what it's trying to do. And this here reverses the track, so that would reverse the arrow. So we know that ALK 2 is going to be my first track, so I can move that up to the top. And then we want to go next to ALK is the next one, and then ALK loop is the one I digitized. That's the last one of that order. And you can still see here that there's this arrow, and that's because of the direction of these. So everything's going this way, but this track is going the opposite direction. So you can just hit ALK 2 and then hit this button here, and then that will change the direction of it. So you can see how that changes. So now you can see that there's one track that goes through here. It's going to loop onto this guy, and then it's going to loop and take me around here. And then you can hit OK. A new track has been created. Would you like to delete the other original tracks? I'm going to go no. You can do. I'm never going to use them. I probably should have, but you can see now that I've got this new track here. So if I go show a map, it's going to redraw it, but it's the one file that takes me through the whole thing. And then what you want to do now, the simplest way to actually export that is what I'll show you now, but let's rename this. So I'm going to say Winter Park ALK loop track, for example. That's what that's called. What you want to do now is have that selected down here. Just go up to File, Export Selection, and you can see here that I'll put it in Downloads. I'll just export it there. It's a GPX file. Hit Save, and close all this. If I go to Downloads, you can see here that we've just created a Winter Park ALK loop GPX file. And that's how you do it. And then what we can do now is put that on a micro SD card and then go and import it into your bike. Now, okay guys, so I'm at my bike. I've got my micro SD. I'm going to go now and put it in. Now, one thing I don't like is the key gets in the way for the little dust cover of the. So when you want to get cards in and out, you've got to take the key out. So slap that bad boy in there. Come on. Okay, so I've put the card in that we just did. Just hit menu again, and we want to import that file that we just created. So you just scroll down to import ride, and then there we go, Winter Park ALK loop track. Hit enter on that. Boom, she's done. Okay, so we've just imported that ride. Just to go and view it on the unit, just go back out and go to the map screen, and then you want to hit enter on one of the maps, and then just zoom out, and then you can see there that there's a bit of a squiggle line. That's actually my map. So we want to then just sort of center on that, and just, you can see that, yeah, there's the track that we just created, and that bottom piece is the one that you saw me digitize. And yeah, so now you just go and write it. Hey guys, so hopefully you guys found it useful.
It's long-winded. It was supposed to be short, but I wanted to make sure that there was enough talking and me showing you how to do it so you could actually go and do it. Feel free to add comments and suggestions and stuff on how you do it, or if you've got any questions that maybe I can help you with, just sing out. Just in summary, we went through installing Garmin MapSource, and that was used as the back end to add additional topo maps, because again, the Garmin global map is no good for what we want to do. So we installed a topo map that we downloaded. You can get them from all over the place. You can buy them, you can get new ones yourself for free, just like I did. And then we installed as well in the video Garmin Basecamp, and Basecamp is the tool that we use to import those GPX files that I downloaded, as well as we created a new one by digitizing around that loop that I showed you. And then we joined them and exported it, and then imported it into the bike. So yeah, hopefully you guys found that useful, and yeah, please like the video, subscribe if you want to. Gives me an indication of whether or not people actually watch these and I like what I do. So I do it for fun, for myself, and yeah, if it helps people along the way, then great. So yeah, take it easy guys, and we'll see you next time.